What's going on, everybody? It is I, James. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Pimp Master of Stuff. Stuff everywhere. What's going on? So, today is Friday. So, in this episode, we're going to go over, of course, the numbers for the past week, what I've done, what I've sold, etc., etc. And, of course, we know eBay's had a lot of problems this week. And I think the topic of subject this week is going to be video games. Last week was CDs. This week was video games. Going to be video games. If you don't know, those are the two areas that I collected before I started reselling. And those were the two areas, the two collections that two of the collections I sacrificed to start my eBay business. And it still hurts. I have no pictures of my old video game room, and I wish I did, but we'll get into some video game stuff. And we'll highlight an old school YouTuber at the end of the video. So let's get into what's been going on. So this week we've had a lot of eBay issues, a lot of problems with the website. Offers have seemed to have gotten worse. The offer issue, I have no idea what's going on there, why it can't be fixed, but it seems to have just gotten worse. And it may have something to do with the change that's been rolling out with the offer to watchers, because they've changed the format. And it was with my new account already, but it changed 2 days ago with the old account. So when you go to send offers to watchers, and now you cannot send future coupons for them to use in it also. So it's a whole new layout, but of course it says give your review, and I keep putting a negative review, and you can't send offers to watchers. And of course, in typical eBay style, anytime they change things, it tears other things up, it breaks things, it doesn't work. They're always changing the things that don't need to be changed and messing up other things instead of working on the actual problems of the website. It's a crazy, crazy way to do business. I don't understand why they do it, but hey, I'm not their CEO, so who knows? So let's get into, we'll start with the new account. Let me shrink myself here. So we'll get into the new account for the past 7 days and what's been going on here. So this is the clothing store, and we are at $497 for the week. That's up 33.5%, with a selling cost of $43.3 and net sales $261. 18 items sold, which looks like it's even from last week, with an average sale per item at $27.63. That's up 33.5%. The top 5 categories: women's pants up 5.6%, MLB items up 100%, women's tops up 286.5%, NCAA at number 2 up 172%, and t-shirts $188 up 135%. So new store is steadily growing as I throw a couple of hours of work a week at it. So this weekend we'll get another couple of hours. We'll list some more items and keep that growing. Onward to the old store. I think I got them pulled up already here. Now, a little disappointing here. So total sales $5,868. That's up 8.5%. But somehow my selling cost has jumped up to 52.8. That is, it's the first of the month. That makes sense now. So that $300 usually takes that thing over 50%. Plus, I did notice there was a less of bulk buying this past week, which may have been part of the eBay problems, a casualty of that, if you will. So net sales, $2,371. That's down 9.4%. So, but like I said, that $300 in there is usually what makes the difference at the beginning of the month. So I always kind of not pay too close attention to the first couple of weeks until it starts leveling out toward the middle of the month, end of the month. 464 items sold last week. That's up 12.9%. 12.65 average price per item, down 3.8. Top 5 categories. Number 5, DVDs and Blu-rays, $224, up almost 11% there. Cassettes down at number 4, $593. It's up almost 30%. Vinyl records, $678, up 12.9%. Still not near that $1,000 a week mark for the vinyl that I was hoping for with these 12 inches records, the DJ singles. They're not going to get me there. So a little disappointment there. So I have to look for some collections out there for sale and see if I can get that number up. Number 2, better than last week, $954, up 6.2%. So back up near the $1,000 after that hat fiasco a few weeks ago where I ended and sold similar on my hats, and they seem to have gotten lost on eBay when eBay was having some problems. That seems like a commonplace wording, commonplace sentence every week. The number 1, music CDs, $1,659.55, down 13.6%. So that's the only category that is down this week. And like I said, all these numbers are pointing to my bulk CD buys are down this past week. A casualty of some of the eBay issues, I do believe. Honorable mention, men's t-shirts, $171, up 398%, even though I'm not listing t-shirts on the site anymore. So pretty cool to see that. So those are my numbers for the week. Let's see, I had to pull up the question first. I had this question. I'm curious as to why you don't use variation listings. What are your thoughts on variation listings? I've been pondering redoing my store to have one listing for each type of product. One for hats, one for nail polish, one for shirts, etc. Seems variation listings come up in the top 20 more than single listed items. I'm wondering which way would create more sales. All right, so this is a subject that kind of gets me upset because it's actually not allowed. The only way you're allowed to use variations if you have the same item and say different sizes or different colors. Say something like t-shirts. If you have a bunch of blank hats that are different sizes, you cannot necessarily do that for all your hats, all your shirts, all your CDs, all your DVDs. And that's what gets me the most upset with eBay, because it is not allowed. But if you look, you type in CD in the best match, what's going to come up are the people using variations. This is not allowed on eBay, but yet there are so many people who are using it and who are being allowed to use it. If you click on this item, you'll see that they've sold 290 pieces, and eBay still has not taken down this page. And they only have 9 left. So they've been able to sell through all their cheap items by using their variations, saving themselves a lot of listing money and or listing quota if you get free listing. And eBay's letting it happen, yet eBay will tell you it is not allowed. And it happens over and over and over. Let me pick up another one here. And over and over, again and again and again. Yet they say it's not allowed. 182 sold, 40 still available. I would be using this if I could, if I'm supposed to, but just like my entire life, I try to live by the rules. I try to do the things the right way, and of course, you always get stepped on by the people who do it the wrong way and the people who allow it to happen. eBay needs to make up their mind on this, either change their policy or be more diligent with taking down those listings, because it's hurting a lot of other sellers who have to do one by one by one. But yes, it does come up in the listing first and foremost. Let's just type blank green. So as you see here. So this is where you're allowed to use it. If you have the same type of shirt, you have various sizes, you have various colors, but it's the exact same type of shirt. Gildan plain cotton t-shirt. If this had different sayings on it, and every saying was different, you are not allowed to use this type of listing. So just so you know. If you do it, you're on your own there. It will be taken down eventually. So they say. Do not do it if you follow the rules. That's what I will say about that. So yeah, that's why it upsets me a lot, because of the CD world, and I live in the CD world. So, all right, next up on the block, let's get into video games, I believe. Let's see. All right, so the first story I'm going to start with that spawned my video game topic this week is GameStop. So GameStop will soon sell retro games, and that's a good thing. But is it a good thing? And let's get into this. Now, if you don't know, GameStop used to be called, and I don't know the transition, I didn't look it up to see if it was bought or if they just changed as a company, but they used to be called Funco Land. Funco Land sold retro pre-owned games. At the time, they weren't all retro, obviously, but they did sell like Atari stuff back in the 90s, so that's technically retro at the time. So they once were that company. So let's see here. GameStop's new retro stores may help standardize pricing for old games and consoles, make old video games more accessible to new audiences. More physical stores specialize in retro games, give gamers better access to retro platforms and more places to shift their unwanted games. So here we go. Standardize the price of old games. Let's see. GameStop coming back into the fold with retro gaming sales means they will likely set a standard price point for old games and consoles. Probably not. I got a feeling they're probably going to go with, if they get a high, a collectible item, it's going to go straight to eBay, more than likely. With high mainstream GameStop is the price set for retro games will likely affect third-party markets and online sellers as well, who would likely struggle to compete otherwise. The cost of physical games and older games hardware has continuously increased, and scalpers continue to dominate the market in a lot of areas. Scalpers? How can you call scalpers when you buy something? Anyway, I don't understand how scalpers work in a secondhand market, but okay. With GameStop as a mainstream option for consumers, scalpers may be less likely to overcharge at the risk of losing out on a sale. It's not scalpers, it's the market. I think this article has it a little bit wrong. Because it's the market that's dictating retro games, and the market now is online for retro games. Will taking it offline in a more widespread name store, as opposed to little mom and pops that are all over the place, will that change anything? I doubt it, because you know what? GameStop needs money. They're hurting. Like I said, if they get a Final Fantasy game, I doubt they're going to sell it for an undercut price than what it's selling for on eBay. I really doubt that. It's probably going to go straight to eBay, would be my guess. I could be wrong. We will see. Of course, there's no telling which way this will go. Could GameStop value those items as an excessive price point? Exactly. Yes, are collectors and fans already getting a raw deal on the secondhand market when it comes to retro games? Well, not really a raw deal. It's the market. I don't think they're going to change the market. I think they're just going to join the market, to be honest with you. Side effect of a standardized market, and perhaps the most obvious result of GameStop going retro, is that older games will become more accessible to new audiences. Seeing games from past generations sold alongside the newest releases is more likely to interest the younger fans. Yeah, but like I said, they're going to go with market value. They're not going to undercut market value. They need money. That's my opinion. What's going to happen? So as I was pulling stuff up and talking about this stuff, let's see, we'll come back to this maybe. I went to webarchive.org and typed in and got FuncoLand, their old website. So this is what GameStop used to be before changing to GameStop. So you'll see a bunch of the old games here for sale. So thought that was just kind of a cool thing to look at. But then you go to other things like pricecharting.com, and this is like a price guide for video games, and it's like a stock market of video games, if you will. You can come down here and say, take Super Mario 3, and it's going to tell you the loose price, the complete price, new price, and it gets its numbers from consistent pulling off the websites. Like these are all eBay solds. So they're going to have an more accurate average price point per video game for loose, for sealed in box, new sold listings, however they're listed, graded sold listings. You click on them, it's going to take you to where it was sold at. This one was sold at Heritage Auction, and it sold for $2,000. And then we're going to get into that too, the grading system of what's going on now with video games. But here's a nice way to come, a one-stop shop place to do a quick, what's my value of the game that I have. So I thought I'd bring that up and give you that tool to use if you don't know about that. When you're at yard sales, you should always ask, do you have any old video game items? I am sorry about this camera. I'm going to get me a new one. This one's just, I wasted money on this thing. Let me pull up the controller again. I didn't even know when that moved. And now my controller's, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay, which way are you going? That's better. Whoops, wrong way. All right, as after I set it, it usually stays. So there's a nice tool for you. What do I got next up on the block? Next up on the block, Heritage Auctions. Oh, no, this is what I just opened. Never mind. We'll get off that because I have this here. The top most expensive video games that have sold at auction. And we have a sealed Sega Genesis Sonic, sold for $420,000 at Golden. There's something to be said about these prices and these auction houses, and we'll get to that at the end of this segment here. But if you notice, Golden has been bought by eBay now. But I'm not sure if it was Heritage or Golden, but there was some controversy on some of these games at one time, at least at the number one game that's going to be on this list, I'm sure. So we got there. Number 10, we got the John Madden, $480,000 at Heritage Auctions. And these are sealed games that have been sent in and graded. So that one's a 9.2 grade. highest grade you can get is like a 10. We got the 1987 Zelda for a 9.2. Doesn't say how much that sold for. We got Super Mario Brothers, had a 9.4 that sold for $492,000 at Heritage. I think Heritage might have been the one of the controversy. We got Super Mario Brothers again, 9.6. Sold for $660,000 at Heritage. And these are probably all 2001. So that's going to give you another key as to what was going on at the time, because they haven't sold like that since. 1985 version at Golden for $660,000 in 2021. Zelda again, Heritage, $705,000 at an 8.0 grade. Super Mario again, $720,000 at Heritage at a 9.6 grade. And here's where the controversy starts. The Nintendo 64. So at Golden, $799,000 in 2021 for a 9.8 version. We got Heritage, $870,000 for a 9.0 Zelda. And yep, number one. So Heritage Auctions, 1996 Nintendo 64 game, $1.5 million, 2021 Heritage Auction. So there was some controversy about who was buying these games, and I couldn't find an article on it. I kind of did a little light search, but did not find an article on it. But there was some controversy that the companies that were buying these games from Heritage was a person who he either owned stock in or had some connection to Heritage Auctions, and it was looked at as they were buying it to up the market, to create their own market, if you will. And if you notice, all these were 2021, and they have not sold for those prices since. So was that controversy? Was that all legit? What was the outcome? I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't find no news articles on it. Kind of has been pushed under the rug maybe. But yeah, there was a controversy about them trying to set the market for these games. So don't expect to get that kind of money out of the games now, but you can get good money out of those games. Let me go to where are we at? Nope, I gave away who I was going to do videos for. Here we go. So I brought up video games with the highest price points. And if you come down here, you'll see some of these you question, but then you have some of this, like the complete sections, complete Nintendo series system games for the system, the original Nintendo system. Get your wording right straight, James. Concord for the PS5, a rare video game there. See, like this I question, but I do notice that it's a different cover from what I remember. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. Then you have something like the Nintendo Power #1 issue graded, sold for $50,000. A Deadpool game that sold for $40,000. So here is a graded Kid Icarus at a 80 plus. Another Concord. Some of these prices take with a grain of salt because almost kind of like the Disney Black Diamond thing. Some of them are questionable. Some of them seems like money laundering, etc., etc. But Earthbound's always has been a collectible game for quite a while. If you ever see Earthbound, you know to grab that. If you got them sealed, probably get it graded. We got the original Tekken sealed. That was one of the first games I bought for my PlayStation when I got it. Just think, if I wouldn't have played it, what it would be worth today. Graded Resident Evil still sealed, $17,500. More graded games. Pokemon Stadium sealed. Not this is don't look rated with the Power Strategy Guide. So yeah, whenever you are at a yard sale, ask if you have old video games. And if you don't know about old video games and they didn't bring them out and they bring a whole tub out, ask how much for the whole tote. And I bet you 10 to 1 that you're going to get that whole tote really cheap and you're going to make a lot of money on it. Or let's just say you're going to make money on it. How about that? Pokemon Sapphire. So, see, here is a Super Mario 64 sealed, graded at a 9.0. They had it up for $10,000 and they took a best offer. That's why I say don't expect these prices. I keep clicking on the wrong one because I don't know which one I'm on, but don't expect those prices today. Then I found this cool group on Facebook here, which they haven't updated anything in a while, since 2023. But they got a bunch of old ads and stuff they share on here, or had shared at one time. So we got the old Atari for $137. Old Toys R Us ad. The old game systems on there. This looks like the original Atari 2600. Original price $200. This says $796. I don't know if that's converted to today's money, or if that's what they were going for at the price of this. I'm guessing going for the price of at the time of this printed ad. But yeah. So we got the Atari and television, or television, the Coleco, the Sega Master Systems, the first Sega, the first Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, the Neo Geo, which I still got my Neo Geo system. Actually, I still got all my systems, or at least almost all of them. I just sold all my games. I kept my game systems just in case I ever wanted to get back into it. So I do have the Neo Geo cartridge system. With controllers. So this one's up for $19.99. I had one of those. That's not the actual system. Let's see what they're selling for. I don't have the CD version. So $489 there with the offset controller. Let's see. $1,200 with the box. I don't have the box, so $800. $500 with one controller. So let's see, where was that? We got the Super NES, the 3DO. That thing was $1,000 when it came out, and it didn't sell. I picked mine up in Florida. My first trip to Florida in 1995. I was still collecting video games, so when I started traveling, I would hit video game stores, and I bought my first 3DO for $100 in the box with a couple of games at a Florida game store. Atari Jaguar. I remember buying that when I didn't have no money. I remember it causing a little ruffle at the time with the girl I was dating, because I had my first credit card and I was just racking it up. And Atari Jaguar, I came across Atari Jaguar with the CD and some of the games at a local store here. And my receiver went off. I thought I clicked it back on. Did it not click? And so I remember, I still got it to this day. It's still in storage, but I remember it had, at the time, a little negative energy connected to it. But I was happy getting it. So let me see as my screen comes on here. So that means I've been 30 minutes so far. PS1, the Saturn, N64, Dreamcast, PS2, GameCube, and then to the newer stuff. But old vintage NES ad. The worst game ever developed, E.T. Old Game Boy. The untold story of the invention of the game cartridge. Consider the humble video game cartridge as a small durable plastic box that imparts the most... Okay, we're not going to get into that, but yeah, the Channel F, I believe, was the first one. That's the one I did not have that I was always looking out for. See if they're going to show any more. No? Are they? No, I guess not. But I did have one of the early ones that had it was like a triangle system. I don't know if I sold it or not. Had a steering wheel on one, controllers on the other, I believe, and a gun on the other. And on the top, it had like a triangle cartridges you could replace on the top. And I think I sold it, but I never played it. I had one cartridge for it, maybe. So, yeah. Alrighty, before we get to the YouTube thing, because I went through this stuff kind of quick, I didn't really have nothing set up for good for today, so let's go back to see if there's any other questions or anything. Let's see. Not really, I don't think. More about the problems that's been going on with eBay. So I'm going to show you that Dallas thrifter, Renee, an old G from the shoe days when I used to do shoe videos. So he makes videos, flea market videos, about once a week, where he goes to flea markets. He buys things like video games and shoes and your normal vintage items, and he sells them on eBay and Mercari and stuff.
Take another trip to Thrift. If you guys are enjoying the videos, hit the like button. It lets me know. It helps the channel grow. And drop a comment down below. I try to respond to all the comments I can. And hit the sub button if you guys are not already and you guys do enjoy the videos. I'm in front of the thrift store now. I'm not really expecting much because yesterday was their Labor Day sale. So it's probably not going to really be nothing in here, but you never know. So let's go see what we can find. Decent kid shoes, but it's too much for the condition and the size.
The amount of items that he finds in Dallas makes me want to just go to Dallas once a week and find stuff. I mean, it's crazy what he can find.
Some True Blues for 17, and whatever these dunks are for 17. Found two family-friendly tees. We got the Cox tee on the game tag for $1.99 size XL, and then we got the Chinese menu, free porking in the rear, with meals such as Come Too Soon, Suck Me Wing, and that one's $1.99 as well. Got the Heath Ledger Joker tee. It's an official one, the Dark Knight Trilogy for $4.99. Any Heath Ledger Joker stuff always sells for me, so I'll probably grab it. I thought this one was pretty cool. The Eyes of the Night, single stitch. $1.99 size large. It is missing the tag, but it's got like the different eyes from the different animals at night. And then I found this Billionaire Boys Club tee with like the crash dummies. I don't know if I've ever seen this Billionaire Boys Club tag. And then on the back you got Billionaire Boys Club spelled out. And that one's $2.99. So I found 3 soccer jerseys. We got the USA one, size large.
See, he don't mess around. He just boom, boom, boom. That's why I like his videos.
That one's $3.99. This one's a little on the pricier side. The Mexico Slim Fit size small. That one's like $16. And then this one's kind of throwing me off, but it's got a number 4 here. And I was trying to look it up. The only ones I could find were player issued ones. There's like no number or name on this, so I have no idea. I'm not a huge soccer guy, so maybe you guys can let me know. But that one's $8.99. Then I found the 1993 My Buddy doll. Someone chopped his hair. They want $6.99 for him. Pretty sure this is what Chucky was based off. I could be wrong, but yeah, $7. Found 2 of these LFC jerseys. One's by New Balance, one's by Warrior. But I mean, they're only $2.99 a piece, which I'm actually surprised by. Definitely a grab for $3. We got the little basic Texas Tech University, $1.99 on the Fruit of the Loom. This one I just like the print on. The Oldie New York, like the embroidered.
Yeah, so if you like his stuff, he puts his stores down below. So you can go to his store and purchase some stuff. But yeah, you find some nice stuff in Dallas. Ooh. If those are my size, I would buy those and get those back. I love those shoes. If it was 11 and a half, I could buy it. Dang. I can't. 11s hurt my feet. I can't do 11s. That stinks. Some 11 and a half Laneys, and I don't have my Laneys no more. I might have to come back in here, see what he's got in my size. But yeah, he finds a bunch of cool stuff. Let's see what his highest dollar stuff is. Let's learn some stuff from him. All right, let's go highest first. All right, Seattle Seahawks jersey, Canada Goose jacket. This little Pokemon plush. See? Something simple like this. How many of you guys, even, I mean, if you know Pokemon, you're going to know it. But me, I just grab everything Pokemon. I wouldn't even know that is Pokemon just looking at it. I'd have to see the tag and I'd be like, ooh, grab. But there you go. If you don't know Pokemon and you see that little guy laying around, there you go. Mavericks jacket. Some boots. More jerseys. I did not know the old Sonic was worth that much. Just a little PVC style figure. And of course shoes. And he does thrift stores and flea markets. He has a variation of videos. So we got the Japan Mario Kart 60. I think I remember seeing the video where he picked that up at the flea market. But yes, gets a lot of good stuff. And like I said, I like watching the videos because they're boom boom and
XL for
nice and colorful.
$2.99. You got the Kilo high plan tee. I wish it wasn't a size small, but it's what it is. And then this.
Maybe this is the way I need to start making my videos when I go thrifting and yard sales. Since I don't like edit it, I can just boom, boom, boom and stitch it all together with the app.
Tee right here, I found before, and I've sold it before for like $80. I don't know if it's still worth that much, but it's this Unis Anus, like YouTube merch. And the one I sold was a lot smaller, so I feel like this
YouTube merch. You got to be careful with some of the YouTubers out there. I've seen it before. It's happened to some friends of mine where these YouTubers will go after people selling their merch on eBay, trying to say it's counterfeit when it's not counterfeit. Mr. Beast doesn't do that. I've sold Mr. Beast stuff. But there are some bigger ones out there who will file a copyright claim or a counterfeit claim with eBay, and it'll be taken down. You'll get a Vero on it. So there's some YouTubers out there who are not good people.
This one would do better. It's a 2XL for $6.99. Here's this pair of Air Max 97s. I don't even know what this colorway is, but they're super clean. And I think this is 20. Maybe I'll get lucky and get them for 15, but I doubt it. Mm-hmm. All right, so I just came out of this store. I ended up grabbing these. They were behind the counter. So I got the Air Maxes too, but I also got 2 more pairs of shoes. So I got a pair of the Black Toe Jordan 1 Lows, which is...
I mean, how often are you going to walk into a thrift store in your area, at least me in this area, and find something like that? It's not going to happen.
Because I was actually thinking about getting another pair of these because my pair is like super beat because I wear them all the time and they're 9.5. So most likely I'm going to keep those. And then also size 9.5, I got a pair of the Palomino Jordan 1s. These ones I'll probably let go. I'm not too into wearing brown. I say that and I have these on my feet today, but yeah, I don't need them. But yeah, they had just put them out like when I was leaving, so I grabbed them. On to the next store. So check out the Colombia 1994 World Cup that I found. You got CC on the side. Colombia loves this game. The Stardew Valley.
And then,
so I figured for $5 where it's taken. And this Caspa shirt. Never heard of it before.
If you want to watch his videos, I'll let you go there. But then he'll do the flea markets too.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to another flea market.
See, I've already watched
this.
If
you guys are enjoying the videos, hit the like button. Let me know. What's the channel grow? Drop some comments in the comment section.
I didn't
really appreciate it. And hit that sub button if you guys are not already.
But he does the flea markets and stuff too, and he deserves to be bigger than what he is. So that Dallas thrifter, I'll put the link below in the video. He's got 18,000 subscribers. So go ahead and follow him. You can learn a lot of little cool pop. What's the word I'm looking for? Pop culture, if you will, stuff. So that is all. I am sorry I didn't plan really. I'm going to start planning for next week. I've been waiting until today to try to put something together, and it just didn't work out. So I make notes during the week, but I really didn't have anything. I don't know. It just didn't work. So I'll try to do better next week. So please hit that like button, subscribe if you have not, and I will see you all in the next video. Hey, look, Josh is live. I'm going to head over there after I hit stop. So thanks, everybody. See you all in the next video.